Hello and welcome to Connecting Jewish Grandparents, the Grand Plan Podcast. This is the space where we come together exploring how Torah guides grandparents to live with intention, connection, and joy across generations. And it really is the joy I'm looking for. But I feel like sometimes my podcast episodes and even my newsletters aren't so full of joy. But it's not just coming from my head, it's something that I'm hearing from grandparents that I'm working with. So, Sarah was sharing with me how she loves spending time with her grandchildren. Loves it, loves it. And usually it's every Monday and Wednesday that she has her grandchildren when they come home from school and she gets their special snacks ready and she has dinner ready for them. And she obviously puts a lot of joy and effort into this together time and what they're going to do. And it was wonderful. But now it's also Sunday mornings, and it's also putting the kids to bed, and it's also, and the list keeps growing. And obviously, Sarah wants to show up as the best grandmother ever because she is. And yet, the joy in doing it is getting less and less because the freedom in loving her grandchildren is becoming less and less. And I know that Sarah is not alone in this struggle. And I don't know if it's something that you too are feeling, but this tension between doing what you want to do and feeling less freedom along the way is in this week's Torah portion. This week we start the book of Shemot, um, Exodus in English, and we've moved from a family-focused narrative to a nation-focused narrative, and we'll see that shift. We are no longer following the narrative of the families directly of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are going into the story that we know well from Pesach, from Passover, of slavery. Now, that slavery in Shemot doesn't begin with chains. It begins, the Midrash says that it started with, oh, just do this little job. Oh, we're all going to do this together. This is going to be good. And then the freedom became less, the responsibility became greater. And the next thing we knew, we were enslaved. So let's take that ancient struggle to today's struggle. You are functioning. And again, maybe it's not you. Sarah is functioning and she is showing up. And yet, something feels constricted. And where is her or your real struggle? Is it the that she is feeling less patient than she wants, right? She wants to have endless patience with the grandchildren, but they don't want the dinner she made and they don't want to go to sleep at bedtime. And it takes her joy and her patience away. She's feeling less present with loved ones, less present both with her grandchildren because it's less fun, less present with her husband who isn't coming with her in all of the babysitting jobs, and definitely less present with her friends because all of this time is spent with her grandchildren, and less present slash a little more resentful with her son and daughter-in-law. And maybe it's more in habits that run you instead of the other way around. Or a sense of disconnection from meaning and joy. And again, I can focus this on Sarah, or we can focus this on you. But however you want to look at it, freedom is not the absence of responsibility. It's the ability to choose how we live inside of it. We can explore Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. And it is crucial to look at that in the most painful times and really when things are mostly okay. Bnei Israel did not wake up enslaved. They woke up one day and they realized they were no longer free. How does that happen in our Torah? Yaakov's family, they go to Egypt. Things are good. They have food. They're in Goshen. And although maybe there was some undercurrents of tension, nobody was expecting slavery. Slavery emerges gradually and then becomes normalized. And only later does the real pain and struggle become apparent. This is how emotional and spiritual enslavement works too. You don't notice it when it begins. You notice it when you can no longer ignore it. I hope you're here with me and clear in what it was like in Egypt for the enslavement of Bnei Israel. And maybe you're in Sarah's house slash her son's house with her. And maybe you're in your own head and in your own struggle. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be about the grandparenting thing. Our enslavement can be so much self-created that we are slaves to our phone or our boss or our schedule. But the question then for Sarah and for you is how do we get out of this situation? Before Moshe appears on the scene, before the miracles happen, the plagues, when we'll talk about it more in the coming weeks. Before change occurs, the Almighty says, I have seen, I have heard, and I know. This is critical. What does this mean? Well, that was Hashem crying out. But what does it mean for you in this time? Your awareness matters. Your discomfort in the situation you are in, your knowing that it doesn't feel quite right, this is not failure. Naming what is not working is absolutely the beginning of freedom, of redemption. If you are noticing that you want something different, you are already on the path out of Egypt. But, but I don't want to jump the gun and run too quickly. Redemption does not happen overnight in the Torah, and it does not happen instantaneously from us. Hashem outlines all the parts of the redemptive process. That's in the divine way. I want to lay it out for you in your life. There's really three elements to it. Step one, commitment. I don't want to live this way anymore. It doesn't have to be big and dramatic. It's quiet. It's steady. I can name many more things that we might and feel enslaved to. Food, that's a big one, I think. The way we're living our lives, the routines that we feel stuck in. Starting with that commitment of, I don't want to live this way anymore, and being committed and dedicated to wanting change is the big first and crucial step. But it alone is not sufficient. Step number two is direction. You have to be moving away from the problem, moving towards something better, even though you don't have the full picture yet of where you're going and what it means. Movement has to be part of the process. Bnei Israel did not know when they would end up where they were going or what that journey would be like. They left knowing that their future was not in Egypt. Step three, they have a guide. They're not going out alone. They have Moshe leading them, a support person, partnership, community, connection, accountability buddies. No one leaves Egypt alone. Is this clear to you? At this stage of life, you deserve your freedom. You deserve your control in your life. So, step one, again, committing to saying, this is not what I want. And it could be Sarah who feels that somehow she's become more than mother to her grandchildren, like endless responsibility and no joy. Or is it the food, the screen time, the job, the life, the burden? Acknowledging that it is making you feel enslaved, and then finding a direction to move forward in. And then not going it alone, finding the guide, the support, the accountability, the community to start your journey to freedom. I've tried to lay this out for you as clearly as I can, but I want you to stop and reflect in case it didn't pop into your head immediately. Tangibly, ask yourself, where in my life do I want a little more freedom? Write it down. Commit to it. Not to a total transformation, not fixing everything, just just one area. Again, I've given possibilities. It could be my reaction, my anger, my impatience, my time, my relationships, my inner voice, right? That critical and needlessly critical piece that we have. My food, my family. Where is that? And then once you have been able to say, this is where I don't feel free to be the person I want to be, then you have to figure out your direction. And again, freedom doesn't happen instantaneously. So, step two is, what is one small choice I can make this week that moves me towards that freedom? And once you've said what it is you're working towards, then you know it could be a boundary, a pause, a conversation, asking for help. You are going to figure out that direction. And knowing that you're moving in small steps, that's not avoidance. That is success. That is how redemption happens. No step is too small as long as it is genuinely a step. I believe in you. I know you can do this. This, because what's holding you in this lack of freedom is you. This isn't Pharaoh. So, how are you going to work towards your own freedom? I give you the barakah that you have the courage to notice where you want more freedom and trust that that awareness is important, that it's really a divine gift. And remember that redemption begins not with great miracles, but with choice. Your choice. And I said a guide, accountability. If you're ready to explore what this freedom could look like in the next chapter of your life, you don't have to go it alone. I would be honored to join you. Let's have a coaching call. Let's, for free, start this, figure it out, and move together to do it. And if at this moment it's not me, find the person, the group, the connection that is going to help you be free. It starts today and it only gets better. Thank you for joining me in today's episode. I really hope that you are able to put into practice noticing where you can have more freedom and working towards it. And if it resonated with you, please share this episode with loved ones that can also benefit on this journey. Thank you for connecting Jewish grandparents.